What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new live stream. Today we're talking about some crazy news. But first of all, I want to say I was going to touch on like three very important topics. There is going to be typically three very big things we talk about every single live stream. That's the goal of these live streams. First and foremost, present the news to you. But I had a sudden event pop up that I have to leave in less than an hour. So we're going to shorten today's live stream for my sake. But I promise it's not going to continue. I live and breathe this shit. So welcome everybody. Natty, it's okay, my brother. It's okay. You go to bed, man. I'm sure you got work tomorrow, right? You gotta be strong for that. First like, thank you so much, Randomness. Manny, man, sipping away. Actually, funny you said that because right before I turned the camera on, I was. And I'm sure you guys might have seen in previous videos. Look at my coffee cup. It's the way that I think about it is the dirtier it gets, the wiser I become. So yeah. I do clean it though. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Casper is all you need. You're on early, yes, because I want to do these live streams around 6 p.m. my time. Right now it's 4 p.m. my time. But again, I have to go somewhere in the next 45 minutes. So it was either do live stream now or not live stream at all. And so I decided to touch on the biggest news of all the three bits of news I was going to cover today. Anyway, the other three bits of news I will cover in tomorrow's live stream, unless there's some sudden crazy news where I can't talk about 10 things at once. And those things aren't really applicable to you guys as much. Well, it is. It's crypto. It's generally in the space, but this is more applicable to you guys, the one I'm going to say for today. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm really excited to be back in action on the live streams again. I'm going to try my hardest for every single day. Good night, Spunky. Have a great night, my brother. Yeah, Luna Classic hit 5 cents. Man, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. People just... I don't know. Like, it's a good thing, I guess, for those people that like bought low, because I know a heap of influencers and people like bought Luna Classic as it was on the way down, trying to catch that knife. So maybe they should be up a little bit by now. I don't know. I think KSI was one of those people, right? So with that being said, I'm not going to waste too much time here. I appreciate you all being here on such short notice. Again, none of this was announced, so you all just must have been lurking on the channel or lurking around YouTube. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So let's get into this crazy news today. First of all, I want to do in most of these live streams here, is touch on the heat map, touch on the crypto heat map, or have a look at what it's currently traversing like, right? So right now, of course, I'm no TA expert, but I am someone who can appreciate some green dildos, right? And we've got some pretty big ones right now. So we've had about 6 consecutive, well, I shouldn't say they're not really typically I'm not going to really repeat that word, but they're not really the typical green dildo, if you will, right, that we like to see, like these ones over here. These are just, it's a very bullish time. We've seen 6 green weeks in a row. We're on the weekly chart right now, by the way. And so if you want some perspective at where we are based on the last bull run, guys, get excited, please. Like, I know it's hard, right? I got bags under my eyes too. This is my 4th coffee today, right? I'm definitely depraved of sleep myself, but it's going to be all for something very important. We are basically equivalent to the last bull run right here, in this area right here. Actually, yes, pretty much exactly right before about here, right? Now, COVID happened over here, right? That pushed us down, and that kind of fell right into the trend. So, it would not surprise me if we have something like this happen, right? But I believe, as you can see here, the next stages before this halving event, and then from there, it's just going to be nothing but green days, right? So these are weeks, by the way. So we're not talking very long here. We're talking maybe like how long is that? May to November, right? So let's just say 6 months. Let's throw 6 months in there. So yeah, I mean, guys, it's nothing but green. It's coming up very soon, so don't stress it. So what's the big news today? Well, it's regarding Hedera. You would have seen the thumbnail. I was again going to touch on a few other topics as well. That'll be tomorrow's live stream. So first and foremost, now Hedera is my largest holding, and I'm coming out with the video very shortly on my current portfolio and what that looks like, and you will see how much I own of HBAR now. It's insane, right? It's probably a little too much. My next highest holding is like basically a half, right? And that's quant. Anyway, I'm not here pumping my bags. I'm just bringing you some pretty good news, right? So the EDF, which is basically a French energy utility company, and by the way, it is a very large one at that, their revenue in the last financial year was 143 billion euros. We're not talking US dollars, right, which is like double basically Australian dollars. We're talking about euros, which like is double Australian dollars. So that's absolutely insane. So they're of course a very big company. It says here that they're owned by the state. So if that's the case, even more bullish. But the EDF trials tokenize RECs on Hedera's public DLT. You're thinking to yourself, what the hell is RECs? And I was thinking the same thing not long ago. An REC is a renewable energy certificate. So let me just read you the news here, right? So I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. Basically, the EDF completed a proof of concept using the public Hedera's DLT infrastructure to automate these RECs, right? These renewable energy certificates. Many electric vehicle drivers want to ensure the power used to recharge their cars is renewable. That's the whole philosophy of even getting an electric car in the first place. Yes, it's cool. Yes, it's fast. But first and foremost, the idea is it's sustainable, right? They can buy RECs and then redeem the RECs at the EV charging station. The automated redemption of tokenized RECs was trialed at the EDF's, whatever that was, some demonstration, right? Some sort of conference. Now, that's a very big thing because that has application globally, right? That's a very big thing. And that like makes a lot of sense, right? If you're someone who wants to be as green as possible, and you know, people give me shit all the time. Kyron, you're talking about, you know, ESG scores and all this renewable stuff. It's a lot of garbage. Climate change doesn't exist. Like, I actually agree with you on that. Like, it's crazy. I agree with you. But you can't deny the narrative. Why fight the grain? You're literally just screwing yourself in the ass. So you may as well look at this and accept it for what it is. And what this fundamentally is a massive company, again, if they have ties to the state, even better, using Hedera for something that has global application. In addition to redeeming the RECs, the proof of concept also collected data from solar panels, generators, and energy storage systems. So we're not just talking about one particular use case. We are now talking about basically all renewable sources to measure the rate of green energy production put into the microgrid. Okay, this is some pretty big stuff. Now, the EDF is actually, if I go to the governing council, these guys, where are we here? These guys over here, these guys have been a part of the governing council since March 2021, so well over 2 years, 2.5 years at this point, right? So they've been sitting on the sidelines, and that begs the question, people. This is starting to roll. It's starting to roll. I'm telling you right now. Oh, you know, HBAR's prices are moving because of these big things. I'm telling you, what's kind of come in 2025, I'm no genie, I'm no witch, I can't see the future, right? I might have a nose like a witch, but I'm not a witch. So I cannot tell you for certain, but I am definitely speculating on the fact that some of these other, you know, partners, Google, IBM, Boeing, oh my God, you're definitely teeing up a Boeing partnership here. You can imagine, right? It's a pretty big use case. All these sort of things possibly being used through Hedera, like in this case. And of course, this comes on the back of Hedera's very recent, a few months, I believe, announcement of the Hedera Guardian, right? An open sourced place where people can, well, I'm going to probably butcher it if I try to remember it here. Where are we? The Hedera Guardian provides audible, traceable, and reproducible records that document the emission process and life cycle of carbon credit. So it's focusing on the sustainability market, right? Having a very auditable, decentralized, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like irrefutable proof on chain. Like obviously all of this is immutable, right? So it's not going to go anywhere. Record of all of this sustainability stuff, right? Which is a very big thing because again, as a company, sorry, I'm getting messages here, people. This is just a note to tell you guys, if you have a live stream, to get rid of all and every single form of notifications. I also have a span of a goldfish. This is a very big thing because in this market, of course, it is a big problem when you're like, oh, hey, we're sustainable, but where's the records, right? And so having, and I think this is going to be one of the big use cases of crypto, or more so these infrastructure projects that are, again, just a global consensus. That's all these layer ones are. You know, having a place where they can come in and then, you know, hey, you can just store all this stuff on here, and like Ethereum basically is for a lot of projects nowadays, right? But of course, Hedera can process this very fast. Let's have a look at an example over here, right? So Adama is a subsidiary, basically a company spawned from their parent company, which is a very big company at that, Avery Dennison, huge company, right? And basically, they process a whole bunch of, I think it's regarding digital IDs and stuff like that. They pretty much, those RFIDs, whatever it is, they pretty much just like, you could almost say supply chain management stuff, right? So 300 plus new items added every single second. This is on-chain already, right? So they're using HBAR. And again, this comes into maybe logistics, maybe, again, supply chain. But mainly what they also use it for is to track the supply chain process to A, find any kinks, B, to find any ways they can optimize that process, and C, make sure that it's energy efficient and it's all, again, stored on HBAR, right? And so, we have the Hedera consensus service, which is a part of Hedera, by the way, which companies can go ahead and leverage Hedera for their consensus and things like that. There's just so many options here, and it's really good to see that some of these governing council members are starting to turn on their things. And it's like, these things don't spawn overnight, guys. These things are gradual, right? They happen in the back end. Again, they had a profit from 2 years ago. I think it was 300,000. Last year's turnaround, I shouldn't say profit. I think it was revenue. Last year's revenue, was I think 3 million. It was 10x, right? That came from the foundation CEO himself. And it's not just those guys, not just Adama, it's not just the EDF, right? We also see the likes of the stablecoin studio being leveraged by, where are they? Shinhan Bank, very, very big in Asia, I believe. And where are we over here? We have DLA Piper created a tokenization engine called Toko, which leverages HBAR, $504 million of tokenized securities in 2021. So, I mean, look, they're turning on. And of course, I can't forget the fact that, where are they? So one of the biggest partnerships they've had outside the governing council is the partnership with Kia and Hyundai as well. And again, that falls on the back of the same sort of premise of the Guardian and the same premise of what the EDF is trolling out here, making sure that they were tracking all the emissions in their vehicles, right? And you can imagine how much TPS is required on there. So let's just go HBAR TPS. Where is it here? This is by sources swap. I mean, it's not going to... Oh, here we go. 1,300 TPS. Now, I've seen it up as high as 4,000 TPS. So, I mean, hey, this speaks for itself. So, I just wanted to bring this news to you today, guys, because, and I will continue. Again, it's just important to know. A lot of you are on the channel because you're a HBAR holder. You found me through HBAR, and I think if you're not in HBAR, that's fair enough. I don't mind at all. I don't give a shit. But I'm just saying, because you kind of have to realize, what do I always say? We look for companies first. We don't look for... we look for cryptocurrencies in the fact that, they are a purely cryptocurrency. That's cool. That's great. DeFi, whatever it might be. But in my opinion, again, I safeguard myself for my future. Like, what if things don't work out in 2025? Anything can happen. So I'm kind of making sure that I'm buying assets that I can afford to hold for the long term rather than speculating. And again, having an increase in revenue of a 10x, basically in a startup, which is all these are, and it's pretty damn good. So what do you guys think about that? Hi from Dubai. I'm eating KFC. I love that. You're making me jealous, man. I had lunch. I had a good taco, but not as good as KFC. I must admit. That's my favorite fast food. Hey, Boom's in the chat. What's up, man? Yeah, it's been a while. Thanks, brother. I hope you've been well too. It's good to see you in here. What's up, Abel? Rod? Laurie, rather. Good morning from London. Wow. Waking up early for the lives. Love it. Algorand with the first regulated digital euro token. Yeah, man, a big, actually smart money. It's funny you say that because I'm listening right now. I'm actually re-listening to a podcast from Silvio McCarley. So Silvio is one of my all-time favorite people to listen to. And because I love Algorand myself, I love the technology. I think it's so underrated. And I'm re-listening to the let me see if I can, there we go. So, re-listening to a couple of podcasts he's got on there, and he explains things very easily because he's created so many things for the industry, like fundamental properties of what crypto is. One I can name that you all should hopefully know is zero-knowledge proofs. He invented zero-knowledge proofs. So what more do I have to say? He's got a very good way, and he's able to articulate things very well. So it's always a good listen to him. If you can understand his accent, that's the hard part, right? Morning, Nick. Hopefully that's how you pronounce your name, brother. Andrew, when do you say XRP will hit Like when is in Andrew? When do you mean is in like what price or when it should hit its all-time high? I'd say. I mean, these narratives. I always talk about narratives. When they pump and stuff, and you guys might be thinking to yourself, well, how do you really know? Well, I'm going to be giving away this. We're starting a private community here soon. And I'm going to be doing like daily vlogs basically over there and giving away like what narratives I think are happening at what time. But essentially the way you look at it is just, again, like what the general sentiment is. Don't wait to listen to YouTubers. And I mean, I'll do my best to keep you updated, but you don't want to kind of be the last person in a narrative. You want to be there as early as possible. You're still missing the ship essentially, but you should have your main bags filled, like Hedera in this case, Quant, have those filled. And so you can appreciate. But if you're someone who wants to fill your small bags and jump around, you can do that, of course. I just had the song come in my head then. But that's the way I would kind of say and go about it is essentially just look at not just TVL, but volume. Look at volume on those projects, right? And again, have a look if they're all sort of pumping at a similar time. And if you're in enough of the projects, you'll know. Oh shit, my layer ones are like 10, 20% up this week. What the hell? My other projects aren't. And that's when you're like, ooh, okay, let's have a bit of a look here. Hopefully you're all doing well, by the way. And look, there's 115 of you in here. Thank you for being here on such short notice. Lex Friedman is indeed the king. I would love if you guys dropped a like on this. Thank you so much. And so, again, I am in quite a rush. It's only been 15 or so minutes we've been here. So, but I wanted to bring this news to you today. Now, spoiler alert, for tomorrow, we're going to be touching on a few other things as well. But the topics I was supposed to do today that I've missed, was touching on something to do with USDC. So Circle, partnering with a very, very big company that you guys might know, hence the XDC logo in the thumbnail. And we also have some CBDC news to touch on as well. So again, that kind of applies to us, crypto. We're against CBDCs, but also our projects are in CBDCs. And actually, matter of fact, I had this conversation with my dad last night. It's not just because he's like, CBDC is going to kill crypto. I said, you're right. I think it definitely will have a big part to play. I mean, they're trying to screw us over already with the on and off ramps, and you guys know that, right? And so CBDCs, naturally, they could just say, oh, no crypto transactions and we're all screwed. But a lot of these cryptocurrency projects, i.e. Algorand, i.e. Hedera, a whole bunch more, they're at the forefront of bringing these into existence or being the infrastructure. And what does that really tell you, right? It makes you wonder, so again, look at buying businesses. Don't look at buying projects that would suffer from that, like Algorand and HBAR. If they ever sourced, we say stablecoin essentially, or a CBDC. I mean, because over here we have the stablecoin studio from HBAR, right? I mean, Algorand is very much upfront about their CBDC use, partnering with the Hillary Foundation, all this sort of stuff. It gets people kind of concerned. But that's kind of a good thing, because Algorand shouldn't be shut down in that case. So these things all play into effect, and that's sort of like the way I like to do it. I understand everyone's different. You go to someone else's channel, they have a completely different approach to crypto. They might be a full degen. They might look at these projects. They just analyze things differently, and that's fine. But you guys are here for my input, and that is it. I just like to... I believe I have an old soul, right? So I try to apply like traditional things to crypto to stay as safe as possible, essentially. Are you an Ada fan? Yes, I am, Kane, actually. I love Ada. Actually, more than Ada, I love Charles. He said some wacky things about many things in the past, but I love the dude. He's got a very good head on his shoulders, I believe. Hey, man, any idea on when we can buy Nillion? Got cash on the side waiting to buy in. So I would say rather not say. And that's your name. But by the way, everyone listening, that's his name, rather not say. I love that, right? I love that. So I would say make sure you're in the Discord and the Telegram. And so they've already done a few rounds, I believe. So you might have missed the boat there. But when it goes public, they will definitely tell their community on there first. So jump in there. I don't know an actual date, unfortunately. But when I do, I most definitely will make it public. No, I have looked into LCX actually, Manny, but I haven't. It just is not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you're right. Like that with the whole Binance situation and Cristiano Ronaldo being sued now, kind of makes me sweat a little bit. Not gonna lie, but with the whole Binance thing, yeah, it's definitely a bullish thing for LCX. It just doesn't tickle my fancy. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, it's just not something. And that's the thing. Like, what do you like to research? I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I bought LCX, I'm not gonna be like, oh yay, I'm gonna like research what LCX is partnered with. Hedera, I could sit here all day and like look into this and read these little articles they produce because I'm just like, it's just cool. So everyone's different. Yeah, so the problem with, so Rod says he likes Rune, so that's Thorchain. He likes Link, Pulse Chain, and an awesome Australian project called Decom, tokenizing raw assets, including renewable energy assets, listing on Coinbase. Wow, Rod, with the alpha, absolute alpha, I'm going to look into that. Decom. Thank you, my man. I'll have a look into this. I see it here, Decom blockchain, right? Awesome stuff. You know, always happy to help out the Aussies. But yeah, so touching on the topic really of Thorchain, I love it. It's got a lot of traction and it's pumped up kind of recently as well. I think a lot of people had it now on its radar, but I just don't see it. Again, this is my mentality with it all, but as basically an interoperable DEX, and it's not just an interoperable, you know, I mean, it's got so many options and abilities. It's not just a interoperable DEX. I just don't see it having a long future past 2025. Right? It just doesn't tickle my fancy. For me, it's like almost like buying Uniswap. It's just like, for me, it just doesn't get me going. You know what I mean? And Pulse Chain, I mean, look, honestly, Rod, I respect the purchase, bro, but I would not touch Pulse Chain. If me speaking, right? I've never been interested in that sort of thing, and I've done a little teeny bit of research, so forgive me if I'm saying stuff that is out of line. But, you know, I just don't, from what I've heard about it and what it is, I just don't think it's good. And there's a big community behind it, though. I'm not saying it's not going to pump. It's a big difference. Yeah. I used to be an XRP maxi, but I like Algo and HBAR now. Welcome to the community, smart. And nothing wrong with XRP. Nothing wrong at all. I laugh sometimes when you hear people say it's going to hit $1,000, $10,000 XRP token. It's going to happen. It's like, well, maybe it will. But do people understand how the token actually has to be absorbed? Like, people have to use the token, buy it in batches as a company, buy, like, let's just say 10,000 XRP tokens, use that for fees. And as far as I understand, they don't have to do that. They can just pay in, like, fiat stablecoins. So that defeats the whole purpose of the token. Like, it's there, but you don't need it. And that's kind of concerning. You want a network to need the token, because while we speculate, and when I say the word speculate, all we're doing, when I say that, I'm pretty much saying, what I'm saying to you is, it's everyone versus everyone. There's no science to this. It's just mayhem. But when we start talking about this topic, you know, real utility, real network usage, token demand, token absorption, that now becomes, I think, a topic post 2025. So long-term hold. So. And Mart brings up a good point. So thank you for saying that, Mart. So that's actually a very good thing you said here. There's a difference between not liking something and making money on it. 100%. If you can... For me, it's just more so like I have so much going on that I just want to research, buy what I want to research. But I get it, right? There is definitely a reason to go ahead and buy projects because they're going to appreciate in price, like Dogecoin and stuff. I've told myself I don't really want to mess with meme coins too much, but as I've begun to understand what you just said, over time I've learned that. I've gone, well, it just makes sense to throw some money on, speculate, because I mean, I'm happy to lose it, and if it appreciates just because it's going to pump because everyone else wants to buy it, then hey, free money. So yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. There's a side, and if you can handle buying a project you don't really have any interest in, happy to research, but you know it's going to appreciate, or at least hope. That's fine. Absolutely. My thoughts on Pepe. That's That's a no from me, brother. That's a no from me. If I'm going to put money in a meme coin, it's most definitely going to be Doge, just because of the wild factor of Elon's and that, and the whole X thing. That'd be like a really big thing there. So okay. So Matt also asked about gaming. I've got a video coming up in a day or two on gaming. So I'm going to touch on a few gaming, not just a bunch of random gaming altcoins, but I'm going to try to give you different areas of gaming that'll ideally help you as well. So yeah, I'm looking into it right now. It's great stuff. Yeah, Mr. Mustang said, you bring up a very interesting video, right, that I might even bring up myself here for you all. So Invest Answers, you should all know who Invest Answers is, right? He made a video on HBAR versus Solana. Now, I actually haven't watched the video myself, and this might... let me find it. This might be the reason I should in this case. Because he criticized my favorite project of all time. How dare he? How dare he talk shit about HBAR? I'm going to kill him. Well, I shouldn't probably say that. That's just a complete joke, by the way. That was obviously me pretending to be 99.9% of the people in this space. I've got no problem with. I think he did criticize it, right? So people have a very big problem when creators or whatever talk shit about their project, because they're like, oh my god, now my project's gonna dump and it's shit, and oh my god, people aren't gonna buy it anymore. Like. If people are bringing up genuine concerns, that should be a very good thing. You should be literally reaching out and thanking them for that, because they could save you money. You know what I'm saying? But I believe, as far as I'm aware, I don't think he... I think he talked a lot of shit. And it's because he's a Solana maxi, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, I'm not going to here's actually a question. I want to know this while I've got before I leave. This is actually something I was thinking of, and this is a very, very... I want you guys to please, everyone in this chat right now, can you please respond to this as honest as possible? Would you... I'll make the poll ready here. Would you be interested if I did live streams? We touched on the news. Maybe we watched a few YouTube videos of your choice, and we analyzed people together. Now, here's the thing. I've done this in the past. I've tried to make videos and openly critique people, trying to be funny. I get it. Sometimes trying to be funny, it doesn't come across funny. But I think trying to now, in this case, what I would like to do is, live with you, run through influencers and what they say, and maybe just critique them in a positive way. Never putting them down, never throwing shit at them, just more so helping you differentiate fact from fiction. So I'm just interested, because again, I'm just trying to, essentially my brain says I'm just trying to help the younger version of myself, and I think that I would have liked that, but let's see what you all think. So let me get the poll started here. So 1 second, sorry guys. Okay, yes or no. Let's see what you all think, okay? And while that's running through, we will, please, if you are in this, unless you're driving, please answer. I'm really interested. You guys so far have been... And if you voted no, I would really appreciate if you said in the chat, why no? Because, again, I don't want to make that move and then have to revert back to not doing it, because I feel like... Again, I'll try to be as upfront and honest and just nice and genuine about it all. I've learnt my mistakes. I critiqued a few people last time on these videos trying to be funny, and it didn't go very well. So Terrence says, good day. Not suck up to you or anything, but I really appreciate sharing honesty and knowledge. Your YouTube name is what attracted me to listen and subscribe. I appreciate that, Terrence. You're not sucking up, my man. You're not sucking up at all. So it's good to hear that feedback sometimes. It is. Keeps you going, It just keeps your energy levels high. So thank you, brother. And it's good to know that I'm helping people. Shit, man. That's why I started the channel, So that's the main goal. Friendly neighborhood taxpayer. Big time. Yeah. I'm looking into that, bro. I'm looking into that, Mark. All right, so you guys have voted yes. So we got 27 votes. How is there 126 people, minus Mr. Mustang, because he's driving, stuck in Sydney peak hour traffic? Yeah. Hey, keep your eyes on the road, man. How is there 120, and we're only at 30 votes? I want to know this, but I don't want to execute on this sort of idea unless it's absolutely majority of people. We've got a good amount of people saying yes, and those who are just joining me in here, I want to critique other YouTubers. I'm not going to single people out. I want you to pick these YouTubers and videos, particularly go through them with you live, and then touch on what I think is yes or no. But I won't do that if there is an outstanding number of no's. So far, it's not. And please, if you have voted no, I would appreciate if you said in the chat why. You know? So, Fluffy says, an honest YouTuber not shilling a project or selling a course would be a change. Yeah, man. But see, the thing with courses, and I know I'm doing this myself now, is that we get critiqued because we do sponsors, and then because YouTube doesn't pay us money, and then everyone's like, stop doing sponsors, so we make a course. Some people make really shit courses, I'm not going to lie. Like, people don't have knowledge they put into it, or private communities for that matter. But let's just be trying to be like, not cynical here, right? And say that was a good course and stuff. Like, that's how we would supplement the sponsors. But people don't like with sponsors, people don't like courses, so like, what do we do? You know, like, I might have to close off here and start selling my body at 3 p.m. You know what I mean? So like, what do we do? But I see what you're saying, Fluffy Joe. Like, yeah, I sort of see what you mean there. So Boat Burner says, I don't think the bull market will be too crazy. Interest rates are high for people to take risks in the market. Tough to call. Maybe 100K Bitcoin tops, but you're dreaming of Bitcoin hits. I actually agree. I think my prediction was about 120K Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to hit 150K either. I think 100 or 120 sounds about right to me as well, man. Again, it's still known for a speculation-based market. It's still known. Like, this Bitcoin spot ETF comes out. If something happens in the real world, if interest rates go, or something happens, there's an official recession, depression, whatever happens, people are still going to take their money out of their most risky asset, which isn't going to be their bonds, that's for damn sure. Likely, depending on what they buy, not going to be stocks or ETFs. It is likely going to be Bitcoin first. And I think that might actually cause Bitcoin to crash even more. So Laurie says, maybe once a week, let's concentrate on positive stuff. Okay, yeah. That's the thing, man. Like, I don't have to address it, right? I don't have to jump on here and be like, hey, Jimmy Bill Bob is, he's actually wrong in saying that. So just be careful, because that is technically promoting negativity in a way. And that's how I think the other videos were taken when I tried to do it a few, like maybe 12 months ago now at this point, which I get. So... But also, there's the fact of providing that helpful information to people who otherwise would think that's important advice. But again, there's two sides to that, I think. It's very touchy. How much HBAR to be a millionaire in the bull run, do you think? Well, if you think about it like this, I think HBAR will, again, not financial advice, my opinion, will go to $1. $2 should be the max. Now, it could be a freak like Cardano and hit $3, but if you're smart, like if you're a smart person, you're going to have your sell levels set up at a level that you're happy to get out of HBAR anyway, which will be between $1 to $2 anyway. So if it goes to 30x, yes, you could whine and mope about not getting an extra 10x on your money, but anyway, so if it does that, if it goes to $3, that's 100 billion market cap, factoring also in supply, right? So that's a Cardano situation, and I think, actually, it's kind of funny because I'm coming out with a video on this soon as well. I think it could happen, but and HBAR's one to make that happen, but again, we're playing risk to reward. I think the risk for that to happen is, it's far greater if you just take a lower reward, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So, okay. So the question was how much HBAR? How much HBAR? Well, to factor that in, let's just say $1.50. Well, then you'd need about, You need about, 750,000 tokens or whatever that actually is. So you need quite a lot of HBAR to be a millionaire. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think that right now is like $40,000 or something. US, 40,000 US, a lot of money. Why empty poll? Johnny, I'm asking the same question. Only 44 people voted. Hey, even Mr. Mustang voted while driving. So, So Fluffy says, don't disrespect, man. Just saying honesty is hard to find. If you sell a course, would be good to actually work out as advertised. Exactly. No, I didn't take it as disrespect. Sometimes I go on these tangents where I pretend I'm talking to someone that's asking a different question, basically. But I know what you meant. It's all good. I know you didn't mean me. But that's kind of like where my mental is right now. Like, what do I do? I'm stuck in like this area where nothing is going to be good enough. So friendly taxpayer lol, USA bonds are riskier than Bitcoin in my opinion. This guy. Well, at this current time, maybe you're correct. Why things are teetering right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. It's been a lovely conversation. We have been here for 35. Whoa, we got Raj in the chat. 200. What's that? Is that? I'm not too sure what currency that is. I'm not gonna rupees, rubles. I'm not too sure. Thank you though. Thank you, brother. I'm holding HBAR for a long time now, but I'm getting frustrated due to the price action. Can you say anything to keep me motivated? Very good question. I'm glad you brought that up because I know other people will be feeling the same thing, Raj. So, as an investor, this is the way I think of things. I'm gonna be completely fucking transparent with you all here. I hate green days. I hate green days. Like literally, Mark's in the chat. You know, guys named Mark. Mark loves the green days. I know you do, Mark. Mark loves the green days. When I wake up, he's like, dude, crypto's up because he's a trader, right? So he gets the short term here. But we're investors. We're long term. So what I would say, Raj, is look at it from a longer time frame lens. Don't think short term. Think I want to buy more because again, I have to be careful saying this as someone who doesn't know you or anyone and listening to this. But the way I would tell myself it is, it's going to happen. It will happen. It's going to take a couple more years. So I need to accumulate as much as possible. Therefore, I need the price to be lower for longer for me. And so to get over these sideways price movements, just look at what we touched on today. Rewind if you have to, brother. Come back, look at the information, look at the hardcore facts. You are buying a project that is first and foremost a business. You're buying a project that is doing real things and that will have a direct reward. Again, here's a prime example. Look at Chainlink. Chainlink, and I've used this so many times now, but Chainlink had that really big upgrade that came out. The price didn't move when it launched. It didn't move. But what happened was when the degens got into it and it started pumping, they had to latch onto something. They had to be news. Why is price increasing? Well, we'll come back to the CCIP upgrade. So all I'm saying is when HBAR progresses into the bull run, people are going to come back and it's going to be one of those situations where it's like, oh my God, look at the information. It was right in front of us, like Polygon, right? All of these amazing things were in front of our faces. We didn't take advantage. Oh, well, we learn this for next time. So that's what I'm sort of saying. Buckle in, wait for a narrative pump to happen, wait for HBAR to push out some pretty big news that will get the majority of people invested, and then have your exit levels set up already. Have them set up now, roughly speaking, so once they hit, how much money you're getting out of the market. Again, the way I look at it, bro, I don't check my altcoins, man. I do not check my altcoins, Raj. You'll never see me on my portfolio. Oh, I'm up $10 today. Yes, it's green. Man, I couldn't give a crap if it went up, down, left, or right. Like, again, I have that longer term time frame locked in. I will be checking it every day in 2025, though. You can mark my words. So, yeah, that's all I would say. Hopefully that helps you, man, with that. That is a very important topic that I'm glad you mentioned. Red days really should be the days you're excited about the most, because I want to buy Chainlink. I want to buy Solana. I want to buy Render. I want to buy more Multiverse X, but I can't. You want to know why I can't? Because they're up too much. Look at this. So this is what I would be thinking if I was you, right? So if this was HBAR, for example, or whatever, like you want to get in, click the 1 year. Look at this. I'm not buying now. I could have bought on average at like $19. What? I'm not buying now. You know what I mean? Like we're a 3x up. So that's the way you want to look at it. You know, you have conviction. You can see all the information we've gone through over here. In my opinion, they're one of the very best in the space. That's why I think they could be like a Cardano. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, look at, let me show you something. Like, look at this, bro. Raj, this should give you some more motivation, bro. You imagine, like, this down here is us right now for HBAR, right? This is us. And so, like, I get it, bro. Like, we're, like, sitting here thinking to ourselves, oh, my God, it's just, like, it's not moving. It's not moving. Now, if we zoom in, right? Yeah, they got the ups and the downs, right? Well, that's probably a very bad... Ugh, that's even worse. You know what I mean? Like, it's so insignificant that all of a sudden, bang, to the hills, right? We're off to the races. So yeah, just buckle in, bro. It's gonna come. It's gonna come fast. The longer we have to buy, the better. Okay? So hopefully that helps, man. Stay strong, bro. Stay strong. We got this. As Caden said, yeah, when it's undervalued, it's the best. And the only difference there is you just have to know what you're buying and want... Like, you're investing in the project, you're investing in the founders, you're investing in the tech, you're investing in what they're doing. And because of crypto's nature, they have to be very transparent, right? Where is it? You get all the meeting minutes. We get to see exactly what the governing council are talking about. All of it. All of it. Read it. See what they're talking about. You don't get this in regular companies. You get the outcome. But in here, we get the pull the blinds back. So, alrighty. Hopefully that helps you, man. Yeah, Caden, I understand, man. So, you know, for those who are just listening to this, Caden said basically he didn't buy more Solana because people were talking shit about it. That's what happens. Yeah. And I fall for that shit too, bro. Like, you have to kind of like really force yourself out of it. Yeah. And actually, you know, I would have got in because I don't own any Chainlink right now, actually. I would have got in a lot. I consolidated my portfolio. If I would have known, like, you know, I helped other people get into it because I was like, well, you know, like if you want a safer project, Chainlink's the perfect pick. But for me, I wanted that certain amount of multiples. But, you know, I think Chainlink can most definitely do it, I think, back at those levels. You know, I could definitely meet my minimum 20x requirements. So, and that's like one of the safer plays, right? Solana, Chainlink, Cardano, yeah. A lot of people are this is a prime example. A lot of people are talking shit about Cardano. So, you know, it makes you think, oh, is it going to do well? But like, look at the ecosystem. The ecosystem is like one of the largest in the space. So it's growing. And you have to look at the facts. Facts don't lie. People lie all the time. Laurie just arrived. It's all good, man. We're about to sign off, Laurie. So that's my fault, man. And we started earlier today. We started earlier because I actually have to leave right now. I was 45 minutes, so I've got to leave. 3 minutes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. On such short notice, you all came and joined me. That is why I love you, because literally I don't have to even tell anyone. You're just lurking, right? But I'm going to make sure that from now on, it's going to be 6 p.m. my time, which is going to be starting in 1 hour from now every day. But I'll make it apparent on Twitter, on the community tab, so on and so forth. Thank you all again. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Laurie, jump on next time, bro. I'll answer the question then. Have a great evening, morning,